how is everybody? Let's see, who have we got? Let me grab my live chat up. Hi Anne, hi Liz, hi Karen. Oh, you got a beautiful sunny day in Minnesota. That's good, Liz. I'm glad. We also have sunshine and I'm very pleased. We've been so good. The weather's been so good here in the UK, I have to say, over the last probably about months. Like April's been the driest, sunniest, warmest April I think we've had in a while. Hey, Gary in the house. Hi, are you, Gary? Good to see you. Good to see you. I bet it's well early in the morning where you are. Thank you for making the effort to join. It's going to be like 4:30 where you are. I'm sure it is. So thank you so much. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Donna. Hi, everybody. Hi, Beth. Beautiful day in southern Ontario, Canada. Yes, it's beautiful here too. Yeah, I just love it. And apparently the forecast is it's going to continue to be nice next week. And next week there will be no live stream on a Tuesday as normal because I will be in a buttercup field somewhere in the country. Bring it on. I cannot wait. Hi, Vet. So members, a little heads up for you, if you'd like, let me know on, I don't know, in the comments or whatever. I'm thinking of doing a live stream from the buttercup field if the signal allows, just for you guys, and it will just be like a chatty I'm not going to be able to craft because I'm in the middle of a field, but just a little chat, and you can see where I'm at, see my surroundings, have a look at the nature and the views and the whatever. So yeah, if you want me to do that, let me know. I thought I might do that for members. I'm aware, members, that you are not getting a great, well, you are getting stuff, but it's difficult because of time and stuff. So yeah, 4:30 a.m, my goodness, you're committed. Thank you, Gary, you're committed anyway, I have to say. Hi Anne, hi Beth. So let's do all of our little things we have to do. So for anybody watching the replay, this is a live stream. It will be chatty. If you don't like the chat, you can come and join us. It's way more interesting if you come and join us. Or you can skip through to the bits you want to see, or you can wait and there'll be an edited version of this live stream that will go up at some point. So that are your options. Many thanks to all of my members. We've got 2 new members as well. We've got oh, why does it not come up in here? I added it on. Oh, we've got 2 new members and it hasn't come on. I did add it in, but for some reason it hasn't added it on to my list. So that's helpful. Right, so we've got 2 new members as well. So welcome to my 2 new members. I'm trying to remember your names off the top of my head and I can't. So apologies. One of them's on here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it in a minute. Oh, it's so annoying. I added the 2 new members to this list and it hasn't saved it. So there we go. Happy days. So yeah. Hi Liz. Yes, a buttercup field. It is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's just in the middle of the country, but it's so in the middle of nowhere. It's so lovely. It's quiet. It's, oh my goodness, it's so nice. So where was my, let me see. No, it's not there. Where is my little thingy bob? Oh, it did come up again earlier. It came up. Oh, gosh. I added it on and everything. Anyway, thank you to my 2 new members. You know who you are. Oh, here we go. So Janet Carlo was 1. She became a bronze crafty icicle. So thank you to you. And there was another lady who became a crafty sprinkle. And I can't remember your name because I did write it down, but as I said, didn't remember it, and I can't check it now that I'm on. So yeah, but thank you so much for becoming a member. If you want to become a member, you can. So this is, so for there's basically 3 tiers. I've got Crafty Sprinkles, who is 99p a month, and for that you get member shout outs, loyalty badges next to your name in comments and live chat, so then everyone can see you're a member and they can see what level you are, and also custom emoji that you can use in the live chat. I've also got bronze crafty icicles, and again you get all the same things as a my brain's not working, as crafty sprinkle. So the member shout outs, the loyalty badges next to your name, the custom emoji to use in chat, and then you also get priority reply to comments, which at the moment I'm replying to everybody, but obviously as the channel grows it may well be that I can only reply to so many comments. So if you're a member, you'll get priority reply and also email access. And then Silver Crafty Icicles get all of those things again. So you've got your member shout outs, your loyalty badges next to your name in chat, custom emoji, and then you've also got the same again, and also a discount code for Etsy digital kits. Now when I first came up with that, I was making Etsy digital kits every month, every week, but obviously I just can't do that. It's just not sustainable. So I need to have a bit of a rethink as to how we can do that a bit better, and I want to be doing more live streams and stuff for members, but it's just trying to get it around life, so you have to bear with me. But if you're a member, please email me because you have access, and just let me know what, if you've got any, you know, ideas. It's just trying to sustain it around life, because life is really lifing. I have a teenager who is doing GCSEs at the moment, so I'm having to drop them off and stuff like that. It's just, this is a lot happening, so yeah, it knocks out a lot of time out of my day. Right, I think that was all. Oh, and then things like hit the like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. I'm not going to go through the usual. There's Pinterest, there's Reddit if you want to put send me pictures of your what you've made. But I feel like I'm talking too much about nonsense. Sounds like your sunflower fields. Oh, they sound nice. Hi, Ali. Okay, so last week we did this card, and I kind of changed it up, so I had it with an extra thingy bob on it. I also did this one, this in my craft class later in the week. So then I was trying to work out how to do the double. Now, some of you will have probably already done the double. So this week for the live stream, we've got 2 cards, and they're both variations on the double. So we're going to start off with just the double version of this in a 5x7 as a landscape, and then we are going to progress on to another version of it, which is my own original version, which I haven't seen. So stay till that point. If you want to dip out and dip back in again, you can, obviously. But yeah, I've had a bit of a play already. Haven't actually put it together yet, but I've kind of started to. So, and I haven't had a chance to make one of these yet. As I said, life is lifing right now. So we will have a bit of a go. So the first one is the double staggered in a 5x7. So let me just grab my notes. So for this one, you're going to need one piece of base card, which is 5x11, and onto your 5x11, you want to score it at 2 inches and at 4 inches. Okay, and then you're just going to like Z fold it. So you've got a mountain and then a valley. Okay, so that's that one. Then you need one piece of base, which is 4.5 by 5, and on the 4.5 inch edge, you're going to score again at 2 and at 4. Okay, so that's your 2 and 4. And then what you're going to do is your tab section is going to be a valley, and then so your 2 inches a mountain and your 4 inches a valley, basically. And then we're just going to go ahead and stick that onto the back of there. And I think I'm going to go with red tape, just so we're not moving around. But yeah, hopefully everyone's got lovely sunshine today and your weather is all okay, I hope, and your week's been fine. As I said, life's quite busy here at the moment. So yeah, how is everybody doing? My chat keeps stopping and then, no, it's fine. My chat sometimes doesn't always catch up, so sometimes I don't know if everyone's just not chatting or if it's just because I'm not seeing it. Let me grab my pin. Okay, so this is going to go at the back. If you want to stick it on the front, you can, but I think it's better to stick it on the back. So let's just... Now with wet glue it is slightly easier. However, I didn't want to have to wait for it to dry. So let's just do that and remove. There we go, so that gives you that. So when you're trying to get it into that corner, just make sure you get it in, but it's not too close in. So that is your card blank. And then in the inside here, you want a piece of pattern that's 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So that is going to go on there, like that. So if we go ahead and stick this down, the papers I'm using are from the Travel Time digital kit, which is available over on DRK Crafts, and they're also available in my Ko-fi shop as well. I might start putting some of these other ones onto Etsy, the ones that aren't already on Etsy. My only problem with Etsy is, as I've said before, they're a bit of a pain, and I've had a lot of people have problems downloading from them, and a lot of people end up then messaging me not sure how to download things, or they get just the PDF download page and they don't know what to do with it, and it's just a bit of a nightmare. So yeah. Hi Anne, sun is shining over here and it's about 21. Lovely. I think it's going to be about that here today as well. Karen, it's sunny here in Arkansas, going to be warm, 82. Well, 82 is 20, oh gosh, that's like 27 degrees in Celsius, like that. Well, that is a lot. That's warm. That's very warm. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want a piece of card that is 5 by 7, and what you want to do is cut it into 5 strips that are 1 inch by 7. And then once you've done that, so imagine that was a 1 by 7 strip. Let me just, it's just been sat on my desk for a while, so it's got a little bit dusty. Let me whack these on. So these were all 1 by 7 strips. Then what you want to do is take 2 of them, and you want to cut 2 of them at 2 inches. So you end up with a 2 inch and a 5 inch piece. One of them's going at the top, so you've got 2 inches, then 5 inches. One goes at the bottom, switch it round, so you've got 2 inches on the right and your 5 inches on the left. Then 2 of them you want to cut at 2 3/4, and again one goes at the top, so you've got the 2 3/4 and then the larger piece, and then the one at the bottom, the 2 3/4 goes on the right hand side, and then the last piece you just want to cut at 3 1/2, which then gives you this. So then you want to, let me grab my paper, so I decided to go with 2 different pattern papers and then use half of them for this first card and half of them for the second card. So I'm making things complicated, but anywho, why not? Let's just go for the, let's just go for the most involved. So I've cut out, let me just move these over. I need to actually cut them into their sections. So I've cut out 1 piece of pattern paper that was, because I had like a whole, one of them's got a whole piece, a whole like pattern. So I cut out 1 piece that was 3 3/4 by 6 1/2, and then cut it into strips that were 3/4 of an inch tall. Kept the 6 1/2. So that was 3 3/4 by 6 1/2, and I've cut it into 1 inch strips. Same with this one, and as you can see, this pattern carries on, which is why I wanted it to be 1 piece rather than just doing random strips. Okay, so that's what you want. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and cut these up. Hi Sweet Pea! Ali, it's unbearably hot here. Storm forecast for later. Oh yeah, I know, I hate when you get all muggy and nasty. Right, so then what you want to do is you want to cut these strips up then. So obviously if just for doing 1 card you just need 1 piece. But because I'm doing 2 cards and I want to do half of a pattern on one side and then the other half with a different pattern, I've cut out 2 lots, okay? So that's why I've done what I've done. So then what I want to do for all of these, the top and the bottom, you're going to cut at 1 3/4. Now, if like me, you have one that is an actual pattern that you want it to be a certain way, you just need to be careful. So I need to cut 1 3/4 on here and then 1 3/4 on here. So I'm going to quickly do that now and then lay it out so I know what I'm doing. Also, I've put double-sided tape on the back of these so I know what I'm doing with regards to that as well. So 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. So that's that one. The next two, so these two here, you need to cut at 2.5, and again same rules apply. So I'm going to cut from one side, the left hand side, and make the left hand side 2.5, and then I'm going to grab this one and do the right hand side as 2.5. And again I've got tape on the back of all of these pieces, so then you end up with that. And then the middle one is at 3, so 1 3/4, 2.5, 3 1/4 is the middle one. Do not get them muddled up with your base card pieces. I have done that and it's not good, so just bear that in mind. So when you want your measurements down, just make sure you're actually cutting the right ones up. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut these as well. So 1 3/4 for the first and last, making sure I switch round. Then the next one up is 2.5. So we're going to cut that one, and stay tuned for, as I said, the original version of this. So this version that I'm doing now, Sam Calcott did. I think it was her idea in the first place. I think it was her original. I've not seen it before. I know Susan Stampfield has done it, but I think she did it based off of, I mean, she did her size of it, but I think the idea was from Sam. So go and check out Sam's version. I think Sam did a 5x7. She did a few different sizes. I think she did a 6x6 as well. So what I'm going to do for this one is I would like to have, so this is where things get a bit more complicated. I think I want to have my pattern on, no actually let's go with pattern on this side. So I'm going to put these ones, all this left hand side is going to be this pattern here. So that's all going to go there, and all the right hand side is going to be the green. Okay, so I am really making things complicated for myself. And then this one was going to go on the original card. So I'm going to bring my little cork board back in, which is ready for the other one. And we'll just set this up on here so that it's all ready to go and I'm not going to get confused later. So that's there, that's there, that's there, that's there, and that's there. Okay. So then we can go ahead and stick these down. Let me quickly move my tablet back so I can see everybody. Yes, right. So let me go ahead and stick these down then. So talk to me while I'm sticking these down. Talk to me, tell me what you're doing. I didn't manage to get to my board game evening that I normally do on a Monday because I had a church revival going on at church, which is great. And all next week I'm going to be playing board games anyway, so it's not like I'm going to miss out. So yeah, what's everyone doing this week? Has everyone got any good plans? Anybody else going anywhere nice? Anybody going anywhere nice next week? As I said, anybody joining me as a member, please let me know. I will put a post out, but let me know, because next week there will be no live stream. Because I will be in the middle of a buttercup field, so I will not have any craft supplies with me. However, I was thinking for members we could do a little live stream, just a kind of chat in a buttercup field kind of a live stream. So if you'd like that, if you're up for that, let me know, and we can sort that out. I would like to do more lives, but as I said, life at the moment is not allowing for a lot. At the moment I'm quite stretched time-wise with trying to figure out exams, GCSEs, etc. because I'm having to actually drop my son off at the actual exam place and then stay there. So it just means that, like yesterday for example, all of my morning was gone. And he's got an exam coming up in a few weeks' time that's a 3-hour exam, so I'm literally going to be, the whole day is going to be dedicated to me waiting for him to come back out of his exam, so I won't be able to do any work at all. So it just, you know, already it's difficult, and then with that in as well, it just makes it even more tricky. So apologies if I'm not quite as around. Liz just returned from a 2-week tour of the Southwest National Parks. Oh, lovely. So awesomely lovely. Got in all 5 in Utah, and also Mesa Verde and Monument Valley. That sounds amazing. That sounds awesome. That's the sort of thing I'd like to do. I remember when we went to Arizona many years ago, we went through Sedona. That was nice. Sedona was amazing. I mean, we saw loads of, we went to obviously to the Grand Canyon as well. That was awesome. But wow, I would like to do we were going to do like some of the Native American areas as well, but we didn't manage to get to do that in the end. I would love to go to Colorado. I think I've said that before. I'd love to go to Colorado. It just looks beautiful. I just think I'd be a bit scared about the bears and stuff. We don't really have bears here. Well, we don't have bears apart from in zoos. As far as I know, there are no bears in the country. So we don't really have a lot to be worried about. Hi Jeanette! Yes, I am enjoying the weather. I hope you are as well. I hope you are as well. Right, just sticking these bits down. Like this. I thought I'd get prepared this week because I had a feeling this one wasn't going to take very long. So I thought, right, let me prep and come up with another version so we can do 2 in 1 week, in one live stream. So that is what we are doing. Let me turn this over, get rid of all my little thingy bobs. There we go. Oh, this is upside down. Let's turn this right around. And I pre-stuck everything as well. Ali, I was thinking about you. We also went to the Royal George in Colorado. Oh, I'd love to go there. I bet it was so nice. Oh, I really want to go to Colorado. Colorado looks fabulous. In fact, there's lots of places in America I'd like to go, to be fair. Gary, I don't know if you saw on the live, Bacon said he's going to fly me over. I hope so. That'd be nice. I think it was just a joke. One day I'll come over. One day I will come over. Right, so now we're going to go ahead and stick these down. So I'm going to do one side first and then the other. So let me move this to one side. Put that over there. And then we're going to do this side here. I'm going to use wet glue. It's a bit debatable whether glue's a good idea. It sort of is, because you can move things around. But the only thing is that I have found that it will move. Something moves. So, yeah. But we're going to go for it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a bit of glue on the bottom there. Get my bottom piece, line it up on the left and along the bottom. And stick it down. So this is when you find out whether you've actually cut 1 inch for each strip or whether you've cut more than 1 inch. And this is another reason why I use wet glue, because by the time I get to the top I do sort of sometimes have a bit of time to reposition. And then this one's going to come along and it's going to butt up and go on the left. It's going to butt up along the one I've just done and also on that left hand side. Then we're going to do the next one. I'm kind of working at speed. If you're using double-sided tape, you don't really have to work quite so speedy. And the reason I'm working speedy, as I said, is because I want to be able to move. If I need to move anything, I want to be able to do it before the glue dries. I'm going to do the top as well. There we go. And then we're going to line this one up here, like that. And then last but not least, this one. Actually, we've done okay. It's a little bit taller at the top. But it's fine, it's just making sure that edge is all nice. So that's that side done. As you can see, the pattern carries through. Who else we got? Sweet Pea, you just got your National Park Lifetime Pass. Oh, wonderful. Arizona and Utah are beautiful. And I love that part of our country. Colorado Springs is a nature's wonderland also. Yeah, oh wow. That's awesome, that is. That would be amazing. Right, that's that side done. So now we're going to do this side. We're going to do the same again, but obviously the other way around. So we're going to start with short and work our way up. I'm going to be dangerous and do two, try and glue for 2 pieces. I'm hoping next week as well. Well, I am definitely not hoping. I am going. I've booked on for a where I'm going. They've organised a private tour of orphaned nests. So those of you who live in the UK and are familiar with Norfolk and that kind of area, it's actually outside of Norfolk. I think it's more kind of, the postcode is Ipswich, but yeah, orphaned nests is quite a beautiful. It's actually a National Trust property, so they've organised for a tour of orphaned nests. So I shall be going on that. There is a 4-mile walk involved, which I'm not sure how I'm going to cope with, but anyway, I find 1 mile too much, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to manage 4. But we will hopefully make it. hopefully, I mean, the weather's supposed to be nice, so that's a good tick. I'll be obviously with people I know, so I'll be able to chat and whatever as we walk, so that will hopefully make things not seem so long and tiring. And yeah, so hopefully I'll still be alive to tell the tale at the end of it. We will see. We will see. But it involves a boat ride, and I thought I can't pass up on a boat ride. I love going on boats. I love a bit of a boat ride. So yeah. Right, so that is all of that stuck down like that. And just shimmy them in. Make sure they're all kind of lined up. There we go. So there's your, and when it's shut, it should, I mean, I've got a few gaps, but that's okay. I don't mind a little bit of a gap. It's not too bad. And you open it up and you've got all that space to then write. If you wanted to, and this was something that I did think about doing but didn't, I'd already cut pieces out, you could make this piece fold up. So you know how last week we had it with the extra bit that folded open on the inside? You could make that so that folds up, so then you can put your message there, or you could just write your message here if you don't mind, you know, your message being on show. I'm going to probably put my message on the back, I think, so I'll probably put a white panel over the top of this, or make a matte and then do a white just to cover up that tab. And then I thought we could have a happy birthday and have it up there, so I'm going to cut this one out and stick that down. You're going to a craft decoupage class this afternoon. Ooh, that sounds fun. That sounds like a good use of your time, definitely. Is it decoupage as in like tissue paper and craft glue, PVA glue? Is it that kind of decoupage, or is it decoupage stacking up decoupage? Because there's 2 different decoupages, isn't there? And it's always a bit confusing. So which decoupage is it you're doing? Both are great, they're just very different. I think the stacking is my favourite decoupaging, but I can get into a bit of PVA glue and tissue paper type decoupaging as well. So let me know, Sweet Pea, what kind of decoupage it is. I'm assuming it's going to be PVA glue. That's what I'm assuming. Right, let's cut down here. Yeah, napkins and glue. Yeah, it's actually quite absorbing, that, I have to say. I've done some wooden letters, because when I used to demo, I used to get sent things, so you just had to use whatever you got sent, and so I ended up trying a whole load of techniques that I probably would never have tried otherwise, which was great, because it really does sort of test you and help you to, you know, do other things. Right, that's going to go up there. Oh, hello, Sam. Good to see you, good to see you. Thank you for joining. I was just saying, we're doing your card today. So, and I was wondering whether this is one that you came up with. I think it is. Last week I did the other one, the 5x7 double staggered, and just put a little extra trifold in. And then today I'm doing the double, and then I'm now going to do, because I've almost finished this one, another version of this one, which is like a pillar version. So, I feel honoured that you've joined my live stream. Goodness me, wow. Hi Ali. Oh yeah. Cool, so let's just stick this on. So these are my travel time papers that we're using. I dab a bit of this on. So this is going on here. Sam, I can't remember, did you do a 6x6? I think you did, didn't you, for this? I loved it. When you first did this, I didn't actually have time to get on and do it. It's only now. That I've remembered. Well, I got round to doing it, really, not remember, just got round to doing it. You forgot you logged in on this account. Don't worry, I know you're, because obviously I joined you on lives, don't I? So, hi Denise. Hi, how's Canada? Okay, so that's that one. Now, this is the next version. So this version is, and I'm calling it. See, I get a bit confused because I know Sue Stampfield has done this same card, and she calls it like a puzzle piece card. So I think for this, I prefer, Sam, I have to say, I prefer your version, your staggered Z-fold description title is better, I think, because it explains what it is. So the version that I thought we'd have a go at, I'm calling a 5x7 staggered puzzle piece double pillar card, because it's not a Z-fold anymore. Hi Sally, good to see you, good to see you. So this is the pillar version. So you've got the same on the front, but it opens up not very far, and you've got these pillars. So this is like and it stands up fine. And I thought then you could write on the back, put your message on the back. So this is a pillar version. I've not seen this one before. It might have been done, I'm not sure, but I kind of was like, what can I do? Because I knew this was going to take me not very long to do, because I had it all prepped. So I was like, right, what could I do? So I was trying to work out, and I thought, you know what? Pillars are always good. We always love a pillar. Let's whack a pillar in there. So that's what I've done. So the pieces that I had left over from here, we're going to use again on this one. So obviously it'll be flipped round. And I am going to do a pillar version. Hi Louise, you overslept this morning. Oh dear. Sorry, I overslept the other day, so I understand. You ran out of names. I know, it's difficult, isn't it? You make up a card and then you're like, what am I going to call it? And it's just, oh gosh, does your head in after a while. So, right, so for this pillar version, she says, reaching down and grabbing her card. Let me move that out of the way. For this pillar version, you are going to need, let's bung that to one side. Hi Judy, thank you so much. Right, so the base card, we're going to change up a little bit. So I was trying to work out the best way of doing this, and I think we might have it. So the base card for this is 5 by 10 7/8. And the reason I've done that is because 1/2 is going to fold up to be a pillar. And if you make it 7/8 rather than an inch, it just tucks in better, and you can't really see that it's tucked in. If you want to just make it as a tab, make it 1/2 inch wide, you can. But I just thought, you know what, let's just go 7/8, and then I know it's going to fit, it's going to tuck in, and hopefully it'll work. So on this one, you want to score along the long edge at 7 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches, and 10 inches. Okay, so that's that one. We'll fold in a minute. You then also need a piece that is 4 7/8 by 5, and again, this is 4 7/8 for a reason. So 4 7/8 by 5. So on the 4 7/8 edge, you're going to score 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, and 4 inches. Okay, so that's that one. And then you also need another piece that's 5 by 7, but this is the piece we're going to cut into strips. Okay, so I'm going to have to do that on my live because I wanted to show you how I do it because obviously with the other one I just kind of already pre-cut, but I thought let me do it from scratch for you guys for this one. So with your big piece that is 5 by 10 7/8, you just want to mounting fold all of your score lines, and you want a decent weight card. I think this one was a 240 maybe. So can you see there what I mean? So because it's this is 7/8 of an inch across here, there's just that little bit there. So then when we fold it round, you know it's going to be able to make into a pillar, but it's just not going to get in the way. You're not really going to see that there's a difference there. And then this one here, just make sure you know, well actually you'll when you score it and fold it, you'll soon find out. So this is the 7/8 of an inch section. I'm not going to mark it because you can see that it's the shorter side, but you just want to make sure that's the one that goes on the inside of your pillar. Otherwise, you know, otherwise it goes a bit wrong. Denise, you love this. You featured your fan card for one of your classes and a live. Your girls loved it. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. Thank you, thank you. Karen, you like the pillow motion too. Cool. Judy, you've been watching in the background as getting ready for an MRI. Oh gosh, I hope it all goes right. Hope it all goes okay for you, Judy, and I hope they manage to sort everything out. Right, so then what we're going to do with this one here, on this end piece here, which is the 7/8, we're going to go ahead and put glue on this side. I'm going to use wet glue. You can use red tape if you want to, but I'm going to use wet glue. So there we go, a bit of wet glue. And then I'm going to fold it along the second score line. So there's my first, there's my second. And then fold the whole thing over and on top and just press down. And then that just means that you end up with your little pop-up pillar, like that. And because it's wet glue, it may well move, so I'm just going to make sure it doesn't move. So that is your first pillar. Then your other one, you kind of want to stick it together first. So that's my 7/8 of an inch edge. I can tell because it's just shy of the score line. So I'm going to bring this over, and then I'm just going to fold that down. So I'm just bringing it again, first score line, second score line. I'm going to put glue on that outside edge here. So if you've got like access to super long pieces of card, you could cut it out of one long piece of card, but which I do have, but I thought not everyone does, so let me just do it out of an A4. So that's like that. Now, because I've stuck it flat that way, I then want to flip it this way, and this bit is going to stick onto here. Okay, so I want it to fold flat, and I want it to fold flat inwards, not outwards, because you've obviously got your 5 by 7 footprint. So if I turn this over, I'm going to go ahead and add glue on this section here. Again, you can use red tape if you wish. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick this onto this edge. And I'm just going to line it up, make sure it's straight top and bottom, make sure it lines up on the edge there. So that is like that. So that's your basis kind of done. And then we just want to add in the middle here a piece of pattern paper, and this is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, so that is going to go in the middle. Now the thing with this version is you don't have like much space, you can't really see much of the middle basically, because you've got the zigzag strips. So whatever you do, kind of factor that in to your card design when you work out what you want to put on it. So on my original one that I showed you, I put flamingos and like just a little bit of decoration on the back. So I'm trying to keep this back pattern paper relatively not as busy as the front one, if you see what I mean. So that's that. We also need a 5 by 7 white, not 5 by 7, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 white on the back, which I forgot to get ready. So let me just grab a piece and cut it down. This is me thinking I was all organised, and actually I wasn't. It's always the way. Always the way. Right, so this is 7, so we need to go 4 3/4, which is there, by 6 3/4, which is there. There we go, that's that one. I'm not going to stamp a greeting on this one, just because I've decided this card is going to be like a leaving card. There's no one that I know that's leaving at the moment, but you know, it's useful to have a leaving card. So I'm just going to turn this over, and that is just literally going to stick on the back, and it should fit. Yes, it does. Good. If you wanted to do a matte and then a white, you could, but obviously because I've already got a red as my base, don't really need to do a matte as well. And also it just adds extra bulk. So let's go ahead and stick that down onto here. Let's fold these pillars in. You could probably stick that down before you've stuck your pillars on, to be honest with you. That would probably be a good idea. So that goes on there like that. And then we're going to turn this back over. Right, so this is now the time to cut up our 5x7. So your 5x7 that you've got, you want to go ahead and cut it up into 5 strips that are 1x7. So let me do that now. So there's 1, 2, it's all off camera because that's where my guillotine is. And there's no point me moving it into camera. Right, so there you go. So there you've got your 5 pieces that are 1x7. The top 2 you're going to cut at 2 inches. And then 1 is going to go there on the left, and 1 2-inch piece is going to go on the right at the bottom. So that's going to go there. These 2 you're going to cut at 2 3/4, and again you're going to put 1 at the top on the left and 1 at the bottom on the right. So 2 3/4 is there. So 1 there and 1 there, and then the middle one you're going to cut at 3 1/2. So I've kept the same measurements as the original, and then just worked out a way of them all sticking down onto here. So now we want to go ahead and add the rest of those pattern pieces that we had. So these pattern pieces here, these are going to go onto their respective pieces. We just lay them all out in the place, then I can go ahead and stick them down. There we go, and I've got my little wishing you all the best. Right, so let's stick these down. And yeah, we can talk now that I'm sticking things down, so let me know in the chat. Hi Evelyn! Oh, watching from Germany. Oh, wonderful. What part of Germany are you in? I'm hoping to come to Darmstadt in September, and I'm trying to polish up my German in the meantime. It's okay, my German, but it could do with polishing up, that's for sure. So yeah, right, let's stick this down. Now this green one, I don't really need to have it a certain way up, so we're just going to go ahead and stick it down because it doesn't really matter. You can't really see if it's following on. We'll stick all these down. Oh, come on, missed a piece of tape. There we go. There we go, there we go. Stick that down. Like that. There we have it. Oh, don't want to mess these up. I'm going to muddle those two up. So has everybody got nice weather today? I know that some of you have. How's it looking in the Netherlands? Usually have a Netherlands contingent. Is it nice over there? It's beautiful here. It's absolutely beautiful. Is it nice with you, Sam, as well? Have you got sunshine? Hopefully you have. It's beautiful over here. Absolutely wonderful. It's been so warm and like sunny. I'm not complaining at all. Yvette, sun, warm, 28 degrees. Wow, that's fabulous, that is. That is fabulous. Louise, lots of rain. Oh no. Where are you based again, Louise? I can never remember. It's America, isn't it? I'm trying to think where in America you're based. I do try and remember, but my little brain only has so much memory. Denise, are you going to have to give this a go? Good. It's beautiful here in central Canada. Sunny and hot. Fabulous. That's what we want. We need a bit of sunshine. Don't like this winter weather. You're in Maryland. That's right, the east coast of the US. You're going to start polishing. Okay. Ich wohne etwa 100 Kilometer östlich von Köln und das Wetter bei uns in Deutschland ist super. Okay, so you live about 100 kilometers east of Cologne, and the weather for you in Germany is super. Is that right? See, I'm getting doing my Duolingo every day. So yeah, hopefully that's good. I like being tested. This is good. This is good. Right, where's me? Oh, this is my top piece. Yeah, so that's the one. So it's that way up. That way up, that way up. Ria, hello. Watching from the Netherlands. Ah, how is it in the Netherlands? Nicely done that German, thank you. My accent probably needs a bit of polishing, but, you know. We try the best. 28. It's 21 here, it's closer to the coast, maybe that's why. Yeah, I have to say 21's more my temperature, 28's a little bit pushing it. I can do 28 if it's dry heat. Dry heat's a different thing altogether. Dry heat is actually not too bad, but when it's humid, it's too much. It is too much. You're up north and we get coastal winds and southern heat. Oh gosh. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. That's good. Yeah, I'm doing Duolingo at the moment. I did do German for A-level, but I only did 1 year because I struggled because it was such a jump from GCSE to A-levels. It was such a jump, and I was doing quite a lot of other subjects as well on that first year. So I dropped it after a year, and then I picked it up again 3 years ago, and was doing it on Duolingo for 3 years now. And do it every day, just one little lesson every day. Sometimes I manage more, but usually just one lesson. And yeah, I love it. German's the best language, I'm sorry to everybody else. I prefer German. I remember at school learning French and I'd always end up speaking in German. I'd start the sentence in French and finish it in German. I'd start counting in French and finish counting in German. It's just, my brain's like, no, sorry, we're just going for the German. We can't do anything else. So... yes, right, there's all my pieces done. Okie doke. So, what we got? Very good weather, 22, that sounds good. You're melting at 28, yes, me too. Yvette, dry heat is great. I walked outside in SLC, Utah once, 40 degrees, my goodness. Not one problem, try that here and I'm cut, yes. I don't know if I could do 40 degrees. Denise, you're 30 today in a dry heat. Okay, I could probably do that. Just at a push. Sweet Pea, it's been beautiful here in Massachusetts, but rain is returning tomorrow. You've just given me an idea to make a retirement card for a co-worker. Great. Ali, you do Duolingo every day. You're learning Czech. Oh goodness, that doesn't sound like an easy subject. I was learning Dutch at one point, but my brain can't do more than like English and one other language, so that really wasn't happening. Right, okay, so let's stick these down. So the trick this time around is to make sure that this edge comes to this edge on your card. So I'm going to grab my glue, and again we're just going to put a bit on. I'm going to squash that flat a second. I'm going to put a bit on. I'm going to do 2 layers. It's a bit daring, but anyway. So I'm gluing on, so this bit stays plain because that's the side of your pillar. I'm gluing on the top side of your pillar. And then grabbing the bottom one, bring this in, line this up along that left hand edge and also along the bottom, so like that, and then grab the next one. So as you can see, I don't want to take too long, but as you can see it sort of sticks proud, but it just means it folds flat and will fit in the envelope for 5x7, but it means that it does stand up. Then we're going to grab the second one, and again I'm just going to make sure that it lines up on that left hand edge, because that is kind of the priority, because then it makes it look neater. Now I have got it with a glue spillage, which isn't good. Oh, and I'm drifting off. Yeah, there, that's good. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and add the next one in, which is this one. And again, just make sure it lines up on that left hand edge. That's your key. And it lines up with the one below as well. You kind of bumped up, up against each other. Then we're going to do the next one, which is this one. And let's whack that in there like that. And then last but not least, you've got this on top. And this one, hopefully, if you've cut it right, you will end up with it. This will be in line with your actual pillar. So that's the whole of that side. I'm not going to touch them because they're still wet. But if I open it up, that's what you've got. And that's what you've got. So you've got all the little bits of the strips hanging off the edge. So that's that. And then we're going to go ahead and do the other side. Now I found it's better if you just kind of flick that off to one side and then go ahead and stick that down. Don't worry about them meeting in the middle so much. It's more important they line up with this edge here. And if you do that and you've cut them right, you shouldn't have them bumping into each other. It should be fine. Where are we? Duolingo seems to have helped you a lot. I'm learning Dutch and revising my Italian with Duolingo at the moment, and it works well. Your favourite language is French, is it? See, I cannot get my head around French. I think because I quite like the way German structure their sentences. I know how I kind of know a bit more how it works. Where verbs and bits and bobs go. My brain kind of knows, roughly. Not all the time. I do get it wrong, but do you know what I mean? I'm more likely to get it right with German. That is memory banks full on, that Dutch. I know. You've got a problem with the pronunciation of Dutch. Yeah, I find Dutch and German quite similar in some ways. I remember going to Holland and somebody was speaking Dutch and I could kind of get the gist of what they were saying based off of my German language knowledge. So yeah, thank you, Denise. You're glad I'm watching the live for the pillar. You would have aligned it on the first edge, not the second. Well, when I made my sample card, I almost did. Right, let's do this side here now. So we're going to go ahead here and I'm going to, again, fold this down flat and make sure it goes inwards. Get my bottom one and that is going to go on there. And again, line it on that right hand side this time. And obviously you're putting the glue on the left this side. If it helps, once you've got your pillars on, just put a little pencil mark and then that will remind you where to put your glue. Because in a moment of madness, when you're sticking stuff down, you can quite easily end up with glue on the wrong side. So I would probably advise just putting a pencil mark on your actual pillar, because you're not going to see it. Once you start sticking all your strips on, you're not actually going to see it. So you could do that. I'm going to do one at a time now, so let's do the next one in. So that's that one there, like that. Just trying to make sure they're not all wonky. I don't think they are. It feels like it's going up, but I don't think it is. And then we'll go for the next one, which is there. And then the last one. There we go. Hi, Bobby. And then that one's going to go in there, like that. And if you just make sure they all line up on the left and they butt up against each other, you should end up with a nice, neat thingy. So there you go. So as you can see, you've kind of got like the Dead Sea, like the parting of the Dead Sea. You've got like a nice little, or like a volcanic, where the seismic plates shift. That's probably all wrong. You know what I mean. Let's have a look. Where are we? Thank you, Louise. You love this version. Thank you, Denise. Sweet Pea, you're glad you're watching the live. Oh, I've seen that already. Nicole, hi, from Perth, Western Australia. Hello, hello. So that's that one. And then I've got a wishing you all the best, which I'm going to put here. And then, my little cutout pieces. In fact, let's do the cutout pieces before we stick that down. So if I grab my pad quickly. So this is the pad. And as you know, it's available. This is now available on Amazon. These pads are now available on Amazon. They finally put them through, so that's good. So I didn't know whether to have some little trees popping out from here. So a little bit of a guide for this. Because of the way this goes down, because of the way this folds down, you have to remember that the top and the bottom strip, if you put anything behind, it cannot go past this edge, because this edge, when it folds down, is going to be like in line with here. You do have a bit of a gap underneath the pillar, but I would advise against it, because I think it's going to end up getting bent, or it might come off, or it might just be, it's just going to be troublesome. So if you're going to stick anything on, like underneath, like coming on these steps, which I think would be quite cool to do, like for example this palm tree, then I would advise that you have it, like I would probably have it there, so then the edge of the leaves come in line with this edge, because then when it folds down, as I said, you know, it's kind of, I kind of want it just to appear rather than it overlapping on here. So I'm going to cut, anyway, I'm going to cut this tree out. So these little cutty outy bits all come with the digital pack and also with the paper pad itself. Hi Shannon, good to see you, good to see you. Hi Pippa as well. Oh, well I'm glad you managed to join us, Pippa, it's good to have you. And for anybody else lurking in the background who maybe is joining for the first time, hello, hello. I appreciate you all being here, so that's good. Right, so let's just cut round this tree. Get the tree on. As you all know, my fussy cutting is not the best. It really isn't. It's not even that got much of a complicated shape either, but anyway. I'm so good at fussy cutting. Really, you think? I don't think I am. It's only because you can't see close up. If I showed you close up, you'd be like, what? What is that? I'm always in a rush as well to do things, so I kind of, you know, like where people sort of take their time, I'm like, I need to be doing it quicker, I need to be doing it quicker. But it's actually not always a good idea. There. And in here. Come on. Come on, Mr. Tree, don't be difficult. I don't want to come from the other angle, because... There we go. Let's just cut off some of this excess. While we're here, I did think about cutting out bits in like readiness for the live, but I didn't know which bits I needed, so I thought, you know what, let's just wait. Let's just wait and we can cut them out when we get there. And then we know what we're doing. So, yeah. Right, so there's one little tree, so I quite like Mr. Tree coming out from there. So again, you can have some bits in, just work out where your sight line is. So with this fully up, that's how much gap I have. So that's how much you can see. So just bear that in mind when you're, you know, trying to work stuff out. So I think we will have, see I quite like the idea of, got another little tree here. I might do another little tree, I might make him bigger. Have a bigger tree there, maybe a smaller tree there. Oh. Yeah, I think a bigger tree at the back would be nice. Quite like the bowl of fruit. That's giving the right kind of vibes for this paper as well. So, you live in awe of people who are good at fussy cutting. Well, it's still a skill that I need to acquire, to be honest with you. I'm just going to wing it. These scissors help. I've had these scissors for years and these help. Without these scissors, fussy cutting is not going to happen. So I do think part of it is the tools you have. I mean, I've had these since I started demoing back in 2015, 16, 2014. I don't know. Good 10 years anyway. At least 10 years. Quite like the Bon Voyage sign, but it would need to be the small one. So I'm not sure how much I need, so we're going to cut a few bits out and then we'll just have a bit of a position and see what works. Quite like the map as well. So the other thing I was thinking was about putting acetate behind here, so you could stick things on, so when you open it up they kind of all pop out. So you could do that, but just bear in mind how much space you've got when it folds flat, so just bear that in mind. Because you can have all these grand ideas and then when you come to put it together it's like, oh okay, that's not going to work. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Have a bit of a play around, maybe hold things in place and see what kind of works and what doesn't. Okay, let's go up. See, I like straight lines like this. Makes life a lot easier when you're cutting stuff out. I'm not going to bother the little segmenty bits on that sign. I'm going to go pretty much straight. There we go, there's a bon voyage. I'm going to do the big tree. I would like some things at the back there. Small pieces are hard for you, typically just use a nesting die. Yeah, I have to say, I think, because one thing I would like to do is start making dies, and if I did I would probably do them so that they go with whatever the paper pack is that I've made. But it's just getting to that point. At the moment I'm not anywhere near that point. Circumstances would have to change for me to be able to do that. Because I'm a one-man band, it just makes it quite tricky. So, yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot. Let's stick that there. Evelyn, you don't like fussy cutting either, if possible. See, I have got a scan and cut. I could make my life a lot easier. But I need to get my head around my scan and cut. I did actually give my scan and cut away for a bit, and then I got it back again. With the intention of using it for things like this actually, but yeah, it's kind of a bit buried at the moment. I need to have a big clear up, declutter, and then figure out how to use it. I think as well because I've had disappointments, and so if I've got like this one page of elements that I need to cut out and then there's a mistake and it tears, or I haven't done the right setting, or I don't know, whatever, then I've just wasted a whole page. So that's my issue with it. I think I just need to get my head around it a bit better. I really do, because it would be useful if I could use it. It'd be very useful indeed. But anyway, yeah, it would make life a lot easier. It really would. Right, we're getting there, people. I'm trying to go as quick as I can without jeopardising my item. Okay, so there's a tree. So I think my tree's going to go here. And I've got a little bowl of fruit, which I quite like the idea of it being on there. So if you wanted to, you could have like a whole scene behind here that you could just kind of peek at through the gap. So I quite like the idea of that. I didn't actually get to kind of fully do stuff accordingly, but anyway, scan and cut needs to be practiced. It really does, and I think the thing is I don't really have the time to do that, because I'm literally I'm trying to, you know, keep up with what I need to do already, and so one day I'll be able to have time to actually maybe have a go at it, you know, and like practice it, like you say. It's definitely one of those ones, for me anyway, I learn by practicing and doing things. So if I'm not doing it regularly, which is why I do German once you know, every day, at least once a day, because otherwise my brain, my little brain, is not going to be remembering things. Okay, so there's my bowl of fruit. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got and see what else we need to add, if anything. Oh, come back here, Mr. Bin Bag. There we go. Right, so we've got wishing you all the best, which is going to go on here. And then I think if we have a little tree, we can have a little tree kind of there, like that, as long as it doesn't, yeah, about like there, I guess. You could have a bon voyage sticking out of there. And then maybe have a bowl of fruit somewhere. You can maybe have a bowl of fruit at the bottom here, maybe underneath the tree. What else have we got that might work? So I quite like the drink. You love your scan and cut. Yeah, I think I could love it if I, if I had time to do it. But I've never had time to really learn. Okay, you can't really see the fruit. I do like the tree being there. And then maybe we have another tree up here instead. Where's my bowl of fruit? Oh, there's my bowl of fruit. My little bon voyage. Oh, quite like bon voyage there actually. Is that going to be? Yeah, that's fine. So the further up you go, the more space you have. So up here we've got way more space for things to be able to stick in. I quite like the bon voyage there. I'm tempted to do a drink or a map. Maybe a map. Might do a map actually. Could just have a map coming out, kind of in the middle. Let's have a look. Let's cut the map out. Ooh. Let's cut the map out and see if that works. And then we can start sticking everything in. There we go. See, simple shapes like this aren't so bad. So when you get like flowers or, you know, more complicated shapes. Okay, so there's my map. So I think Bon Voyage from here, a map from here, quite like the map, the tree at the back, and the bowl of fruit I think is all we need. Bon Voyage, a map. Yeah, I think we'll just do that. I think we'll just do that. I think that will work. I think that will work. We'll leave the little tree. Okay, so we've got to stick this in now. I think the best way to stick them in is going to be, because it's not going to have a lot to stick on, it's only got a tiny amount there. A tiny amount there that's going to stick on. I think I'm going to use a little bit of Yoo-Hoo glue because I know it's going to stick straight away. I could use red tape maybe, but I think we'll go with a tiny little blob of Yoo-Hoo because I know that once it's stuck it is going to be stuck. Now on this side I'm hoping this isn't going to be a problem with regards to closing up, because that's going to come down and that's going to come down. Yes, so that's fine. So the Bon Voyage is fine. You could do, actually, I'm just wondering if I should put the map coming from the other side instead. I just need to be careful. No, I can't. I'm going to have to do it from this side, I think. Yeah, let's do it from this side. Because if I do it from the other side, then we have the issue of the butting up against the pillar. So we're going to stick that one in there like that. Ooh, there we go. Like that. Try not to move my little Bon Voyage. Let me just fold this down and press down. So I need to be able to stick it without it moving. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to put the tree. I'm going to put the tree at the back. I say I could put the tree coming behind there, but I think it needs to go actually on the back. So I'm going to put a little bit of silicone glue on. I don't want loads because obviously I don't want it to impede how flat this goes. Let's pop this in here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's going to be about there. And then we've got a little basket of fruit, which I think I'm going to put to the left of it actually. So let me shimmy that over a tiny bit. Shimmy, shimmy. And then we'll do the little bowl of fruit underneath. But you've got so much you could do with this, like you can have little things popping up from behind the little strips. I think it could be really good. Could really come up with some cool ideas. Like that. Is that straight? Yeah. And then we just need the wishing you all the best on the front. There we go. And that is going to go on there. Like that. Let me put my lid back on. Okay, so there you go. That's the opened. That's with it opened. And then obviously with it shut, now I've got to be careful because it's got silicone glue. I'm going to go this side first. And then this side. So you've gone from that. That's how it'll be in the envelope. And then when they get it, they open it. Donk, and you get these little bits that pop up. So again, as I said, you could really go to town with this. You could have all kinds of things popping up from behind. You could have a little scene behind there. You haven't got a lot of view, so just bear that in mind when you're constructing and you're working out your bits and bobs. And then on the back, you've obviously got space to write. Oops, I've just dropped something. What was that? Oh, it's a bit of offcut. That's fine. So there you go. Don't worry, Sally, I'm finishing now anyway, so don't worry, don't worry. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Vet. Thank you, Louise. Yeah, so there you go. So this is available, obviously, as a digital kit as normal on DRK Crafts and also in my Ko-fi shop. And it's now available as an 8.5 by 8.5 paper pad on Amazon and also an A4 pad on Amazon. And obviously it comes with your little bits at the back. You've got sentiments as well you can cut out. There's all sorts in there. So yeah, so there's a short video, a YouTube short. You can check out the what it all involves. So there you go. There's your two different versions. So the original version, which I love this version because you've got more space. So if you want something a bit more space, I think that's your option. And then you've got obviously the pillar version if you want to go a slightly different look. So that's that one. And then there's the other one. There's the original one of the pillar that I did. This was using Doocraft's pack, Tropical Paradise, I think it's called. I think it's Tropical Paradise, something like that. But yeah, so there you go. That is the card for today. Hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget, next week there won't be a live stream on the Tuesday. I'm going to try and schedule a video instead, so you haven't got nothing. But for members, you may well have a live stream next week. It will be a chatty one in the middle of a buttercup field. It won't be any crafting, but we could just chat and talk, you know, and whatever, and just maybe bat some ideas around. So yeah, but great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. You like the pillar version, Ali, as well. Cool, excellent. Thank you, Liz. Nice and big. Yeah, I like the fact it's a 5x7. You know, it folds down to be a 5x7, but it opens up to be bigger than a 5x7. Always good. So there you go, everybody. So thank you for joining me today. Have a great rest of your week. And yeah, I will see the members next week at some point. The other thing as well is members, because I'm away from home, I can do evenings. So I know evenings are better for members. And also because it gets darker later, it means I can still do a live stream. As long as I've got signal, I can still do a live stream from a buttercup field for you members. And we can just talk and whatever. Yeah, and you actually get to see me, members, as well. I'm actually going to do face cam, which I don't normally do, just saying. So yeah, members, that's one to look forward to. Not really. But yeah, so I will see hopefully members live next week. I just need to work out what the best day is for that. I'll put a post up with a little poll for the members, so you can vote and let me know. And yeah, the rest of you I will see in a couple of weeks' time. The live streams are all scheduled so you can see when I'm live, when I'm not. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you all at some point. Bye!